Hey, what's up? Wavy here. And if you're anything like me, Sonic has put you on quite the roller coaster over the years. From being a childhood favorite you would spend hours with in the Chow Garden, to kissing humans in uncomfortable CGI. While I'm not old enough to remember a time of Sega ads attacking Nintendo, I am old enough to remember waking up on Saturday mornings trying to watch Sonic X on the Fox box or 4Kids or whatever it was called at the time. And I've honestly really enjoyed the last two Sonic live-action films, and felt like despite some of the quality control issues with the franchise in the last few years, it has been a fairly good time to be in the Sonic fandom. Looking deeper into Sonic content can be challenging though. It's path-riddled with crime, internet memes, and lots of NSFW content. But if you brush all that away, you might find hidden gems like the 1996 Sonic the Hedgehog OVA. Growing up on anime VHS movies in the early 2000s, I'm surprised I'd never heard of this movie till a few years ago, and I actually just watched it for the first time this year. Originally a Japanese exclusive OVA made of 2 episodes, it was a rental-only film from January 26 to March 22nd, 1996, until it became readily available May 31st of that same year. Skip forward to 1999, and Sonic Adventures was about to release for the Sega Dreamcast, and to celebrate and help promote the game's launch, ADV Films obtained the license to dub the OVA series into a single-part movie titled Sonic the Hedgehog The Movie. Looking at the projects ADV Films worked on, it would seem like they were a small powerhouse working on things like Neon Genesis Evangelion, Elfen Lied, Full Metal Panic. It was all just screaming of early 2000s anime. But just like English anime dubs in the 2000s, it was riddled with its problems. A legal battle to make a live-action Neon Genesis film, liquidating most of their assets and later breaking off into multiple smaller businesses like the Section 23 Films and Sentai Film Works, it would all leave the Sonic OVA currently out of print without any signs of that changing. And if you do find a physical copy, it can run you anywhere from $30 to $150 USD, depending on the box art, region, and if you decide to get it on DVD versus VHS. So, shout out to Sonic fans for really knowing what to spend their money on.
Man, y'all think I'm playing games, man. Sonic's not a game, you feel me? We got Sonic on the wallpaper, man. Look at that. I've been getting Sonic, man. It ain't a f***ing game, man. Sonic on my wrist, because it's always time for Sonic, you feel me? Not a game. It's not a game.
The film itself starts off with a very eerie monologue of Dr. Robotnik, with Metal Sonic pulsing before the title screen breaks and we're shown a beautiful island floating in the sky. The colors and overall style of the film are as if you took Sonic Underground and some shonen anime at the time and tried to merge the two. While this is an OVA and had more of a budget than a TV episode, we still see a lot of looping backgrounds and reused assets to save money, but it is a super pretty film and I'm sure at the time would have appeared even more so. We're greeted by Sonic and Tails' session on the beach, which soon comes to an end, with Old Man Owl letting them know the president has asked to see them as soon as possible. When they arrive, we see the president and his daughter are being held captive by the Eggman, but only doing it so to get Sonic to help him. We then learn of Metal Robotnik, who's loose in Eggman's city that will destroy a robot generator or something like that and will cause an explosion. How big of an explosion, or if it will even affect anything or anyone, we aren't really given that info, but of course, let's stop the explosion. This is where the film really hits its stride, and by stride I mean a perpetual loop from here on out becomes running and oh no, bad thing happens, bad thing gets destroyed, oh no, bad thing happens, running over and over and over again. So much running in this film. But in the middle of all this we meet Knuckles, but not any Knuckles. He's got a cowboy hat in this film.
Napoleon of crime.
And if you're a fan of the Idris Elba voice actor of Knuckles in the Sonic movies, you're in luck. Because in this film, Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, Knuckles in this movie sounds like the complete opposite. And while I get he can glide in the games like Sonic 3 or Sonic and Knuckles, it appears in this story's lore he can just fly, or at least glide upwards perpetually. Also, I know this is seemingly made for children, so I'll turn my head from the overwhelming amount of slapstick comedy and one-liners, but the president's daughter is a cat girl, and is low-key in on Dr. Robotnik's plan, is almost leading him on until she has this mental vision of her breastfeeding her and Dr. Robotnik's future children. So thanks for that one, Japan. The second act begins with one of Dr. Eggman's machines trapping Sonic as they save the city and scanning his body. This is the last step needed to bring Hyper Metal Sonic that we saw at the beginning of the movie up to his full strength and power. The two Sonics then fight as Eggman reveals even more wacky shenanigans and tells Knuckles to fly back to learn of Metal's goal from the president, who tells them he's trying to melt the ice caps and make the planet fall using lava or something. And that's my biggest problem with this movie. Instead of one main objective with maybe a twist or two, the writing seems like it was afraid to slow down, or that if we got to know any of the characters versus action being forced into the picture, we couldn't handle it. Or perhaps that's just what they thought the kids liked more at the time. I'm not sure. But it does pose a serious problem in the film, the pacing. I'm a grown adult on the internet, now complaining about a children's anime from the 90s, however, so I don't really know. After a lengthy battle and Sarah flirting with more adults, Sonic is then saved by Metal, only to fall into a volcano where he's about to be burned alive. Sonic realizes that Metal, being his clone, also has his emotions and his kindness, and tries to save Metal. But Metal hits his hand away where he chooses to be burned alive over being a copy of someone else. This part of the film really threw me for a loop, and it was a nice change. Afterwards, while everyone's celebrating their success, we see Sonic in a depressed state after watching a cloned version of himself get buried alive, seemingly in the early stages of having PTSD now. To get Sonic's mind off everything, Knuckles punches him, getting him to chase him while everyone runs off to the distance, ending the film. While I don't think the film was by any means perfect, I think it was a great representation of Sonic in the Sonic franchise. It had some really cool and visually pleasing elements. It had some sections of the movie that went on for too long and maybe lost track of what it was supposed to be trying to do or what it was wanting to do from the beginning, but it also surprised me and was something that I'm glad I watched when I was done with it. I think like any other Sonic fan, we know that the franchise has its faults, but it also has its gems. Just like everything else in your life, you could argue, but Sonic for sure. But I think what's most important, and I beg you to never forget, is that this film, over everything else, has Knuckles wearing a cowboy hat. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please leave a comment on what you would like to see next, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content. Until next time, it's been Wavy.